Hello, it's Juliet, Little Miss Crafty. Basically this is my first YouTube tutorial and it's going to be a really simple and quick one today because I want to do more, but this is going to be a practice one. So I just wanted something really quick that I could do and show you just so I could get some practice in. Right, today's project is going to be plant pot labellers. If I just show you these here, they're colourful painted sticks of wood basically, and I've done these in a pastel rainbow colour palette, and I've put the little flowers on the top there, which you could put on depending on what flower you're growing or plant or vegetable, whatever you're going to do, use them for. You could put on a little picture of whatever you want on the top there, of what it is, or just some random little picture that you want to do. They're varnished. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, just shiny. They're varnished so that they won't warp when you put them in the pots, because obviously they'll be damp or wet when you water them, and to just protect them so that you can reuse them. And the label sticker bit here is glossy self-adhesive paper, so you can cut those out and just reuse them. So you can use a permanent marker to write on whatever you want here. You could even do it if you're giving a gift of a plant or a flower. You could even take out the little plastic one that comes with it and then put one of these in, and you can cut out a slightly longer label if you want, and then write a message on there instead of just whatever the plant is called. You could put a little happy birthday or something on there. So that's basically what we're going to make today. What you need are these. This is the raw form of them. It's just a giant lollipop stick basically, and you can get these in packs from craft shops, discount stores is where I got these in a big pack for a couple of quid. They're really, really cheap. Places like that. You'll need some a small cheap set of acrylic paints, not poster paints because they don't come out very nice. They're quite chalky. They're not a nice paint to work with. So if you want something that's quite colourful and looks nice and will last long, then cheap set of acrylics. For the undercoat, because whenever I paint on wood or beads, I always put a white coat underneath just to bring out the colours that you're going to paint on top, instead of going straight onto the wood. I use System 3 acrylic white titanium paint. Maybe because it's quite a light wood, 2 coats should be fine just to cover those as a nice base for the paint and the design. So if I'm going to do this in real time so you can see how quick they are to make. If you've got kids that you need to keep quiet for a couple of hours, this is a good project for them. Keep them busy. It's art based, so that's quite a fun thing for kids to do. If they're growing anything in the garden, if they're growing like a little pot of their own seeds, this would be a nice little thing for them to make as well. I'm just putting on the base coat here, the white paint. Just make sure you do the edges as well, just so you get a nice finish. It doesn't have to be perfect, just a nice base coat. As I said, this is a good project for kids to do because it's cheap and it's simple. It doesn't take a lot of concentration for them to do, really. It's just painting. They can paint whatever they want on, fun little designs or patterns, or you can write whatever they want on there as well. I'm just going to use a hairdryer. This is quick to dry paint anyway, but I'm going to use a hairdryer just to speed things up. Just quickly. Just on the other bit. This is still the first coat. Try it off again. And I'll do the second coat. as I said, you could make these for the garden generally, just to brighten up the garden. You could even turn them into a game. So if you paint the sticks different colours and put, like, maybe make a face or a head. So cardboard, cut it out, stick it on the top, so it's like a little animal or a person or something, and then you could dot those around the garden and set out clues or put little prizes with each one, so that you give the kids a clue and they have to go and find out the right one, and they get a little prize. Parties, or you could paint half of the stick, leave half of it natural. That's it, painted there, all white, all the edges. There we go. You could paint half of it, leave half natural, paint the other bit, decoration, whatever you want to put on, star, a big star, glitter, or whatever you want to use on there. Then you could put that in desserts, party bags. You can stick it on as a table name, put their name on the bottom, so they know it's it for a party, things like that, little fun things for them to keep. It's cheap, doesn't take much time, and it's fun to do. Right, I've painted 3 there. Basically, we are going to do, if I just do one, because you've seen the colours, I think I'll do the turquoise one today, because I love that colour. And the little flower there, you can see that, it's a nice little contrast. I love working with rainbow colours normally. When I put it into work, it's not normally the bold colours I use. I use like a strong pastel version of it. So it's still rainbow colours. I mean, that is quite a bright, strong pink. It's got a yellow flower on top there. It's not red, but I think they could look quite nice like that. And I also put in like a turquoise and a pink one on the end there to extend the rainbow colours there. So if I mix up, that's another nice thing with acrylics is they mix colours really nicely. So if I mix nice aqua colour, which you buy already mixed, if you want to spend a bit more on acrylic paints, because really you can just buy the sort of primary colours, mix them with a bit of white to get the pastel sort of shades. Excuse me. You're just going to paint one stick. You probably want to do 2 coats, just so it's nice and covered. Make sure you get all the bits. Hoping this is going to record all of this tutorial this time, because I did it earlier and it only recorded 2 minutes. It said 22, but it only recorded 2 minutes when I played it back. So this is actually the second time. Right, I'll wait for my hairdryer to come off its emergency cool down. That's a little click. When it gets a bit too hot, it turns itself off. So I'll wait for that. Paint 2 coats. This is the second one. There we go, I made a little click noise, it's come back on. Colour that bit. There you go, just show you, I painted that both sides. Now I'm going to do the dots or the spots on it. So keep that shade, but sorry, keep that colour, add more white to make it a lighter shade. You can do different colours, but the one I'm doing here, it's just going to be a lighter shade of aqua. There we go. Just dry and brush off. Always wash your brushes when you use acrylics, because when they dry, it's plastic based, so they'll ruin the brushes if you leave the paint on them. So dry hard. Okay, I'm just going to take a smaller brush and put on the spots. Doesn't have to be perfect. There's also, get my hair out of there. There's also a slight variation that I'm going to show you at the end of this tutorial of something you can use where you just paint it like this. Basically, it's wood based. Some dolly pegs that are decorated. So that's one side. This video is okay. Or you can play it back in a minute. I only recorded like 5 minutes. I'm going to have loads of these aqua sticks by the end if I get them to redo the recording. Okay. That's the other side. So both sides. Dry it. Now I'm just going to do the flower at the top, which looks like that. So it's like a sort of pinky red rose. I'm going to do, let's get some of the red out, keeping it red. I'm going to just dab some in the middle like that. Then, apologise if it's a little bit dark this one, this recording. It's because the computer's in the corner of the room. I might have to change it for further tutorials. I think I'll probably use a camera and just use my hands rather than this, because I have to keep lifting it up to show you. So just keep dabbing on different shades, keeping it dark in the middle, medium on the outside, and then really light on the edges. But obviously, like I said, you can do anything you want, depending on the theme that you're using. Do little aliens or little characters. Just going to do some leaves. Actually mix some colours up. The green. So that's it so far. Just put on some leaves like that. Okay. Just dry that off to make sure I don't smudge it. Now, this is self-adhesive white gloss sort of paper, and you obviously have to use some sort of permanent marker like a Sharpie or something to write the details on that you're going to do for it. I did cut a piece of that. There we go. Cut a small rectangle, or if you're going to use it as a gift and write a message on it, obviously tailor it to whatever you're going to be using it for, so you can make a slightly longer one. You know what? Hang on, don't do that. Just remember to varnish it first. Basically, use a gloss medium rather than a varnish itself. Here I've got Claudine Helmuth's gloss multi-medium, or I'm actually going to use this one. It's golden clear tar gel you can use, or this one self-leveling clear gel. You just paint it on basically. I get this. Just quickly paint some on. If you want it to be really glossy, really shiny, or just really hard wearing, then put 2, maybe 3 coats on. I'm only going to do 1 here just to show you. You don't have to be on thick. Just paint it on like you would anything else. Obviously I'm going to dry this off. Otherwise we'd be waiting a long time. This tutorial will be even longer. Then the other end, make sure you get all the edges, because you don't want the water to get in, all the moisture and warp the stick. There you go. Dry off. There you go, so you can see it's shiny. If I just do that, there you go, you can see that. Also, must wash your brush after you use the varnish as well. Don't want to get that ruined. That's washed off, just in water. Back. Now, the white label that you made, stick it on. There you go. And hopefully you can peel that off, or put, if you want to reuse it, just peel it off and put another one on top there. There you go. That's finished. You can add that to your collection. So if I just show you them one more time. I'll probably leave them overnight at least, just to make sure they're all completely dry and hard before you put them in anything. But there you go. That's what you can make. You can make all those little different designs there. Sort of roses, peonies, little daisies, things like that. Gerbera. So you can either do it to match what is in what is growing, or you could put little birds maybe on the top, or if, like I said, if they're for vegetables, you could put potatoes or tomatoes or whatever you're putting on the top there, just to make it a bit more fun and colourful. And the other thing that I was going to show you was these dolly pegs. You normally get them in the same section that you get the craft sticks from, and the lollipop sticks.